Welcome to our channel SQL Easy. We are a group of people, group of developers who started this channel. And the idea behind the channel was to share our ideas, share our knowledge with the community or with the people who really need it. So our intention was to share the idea, as I said, and we were continuously reading the comments which were received, and we were observing one thing. There are a group of people, group of subscriber, they were requesting us to start a series of a video which will help them to crack the interview, because they according to them they are not able to crack the interview by watching a video. So we decided, and when trying to move one step ahead, that we will start a series of interview question which will help them to understand, to crack the interview. In this series we were trying, and we were sharing our knowledge, our ideas regarding the interviews which were faced by me or faced by us, and also we will be sharing all the interviews question which are very common for the interview, and those were asked to my friends or me. Let's begin. This is our first video regarding our new series, that's a learn interview scenarios. Okay, in this series we are starting a basic problem, a basic scenario which you might have heard or which you might face in coming days. When I started my career in a database programming, I faced this question many times, as I knew this problem, so I was not be that much in a problem because I knew how to answer and what to answer for this question. Great. And recently I asked this question for few people when I was taking interview. I asked them this question. It was quite easy, but they were not able to answer it because, as a fresher we learn lot of we learn 100%, but we don't know how to apply our knowledge at the right time and proper place. Great. So the problem I'm giving you is that you have one table. Let's say a table 1 or tab 1. In this table you have a multiple column, right? And out of that there is a one column called as a gender, and in this table you have a column gender. It has a value m or it has a value f. Now the requirement is, I want to update a short form to full form. I want to update the short form to full form. Let's say I have m and I want to update this m to male, and there is a second value which is f, and I want to update this f to female. Great. This is my requirement. Let's try to understand this requirement once again. You have a table, name it as a tab 1, which has a multiple column, and out of those column there is a one column called as gender, and this column has a value m and f. So these are the two values. Now my requirement is, when I have m, it need to be updated to its full form, and when I see a f, this value need to be updated to its full form. So m need to be updated to the male, f need to be updated to the female. This is my requirement. I asked this question to few people when I was taking the interview to the fresher. They were not confident about. They answered when I given some hints to them, but they were not that much confident. Okay, so as I'm starting this series, my intention is to share my knowledge and make you guys more confident in a database programming. Great. Now this is my requirement, and now let's try to do it. How you will do that? First of all, you will create a table. So write a create table command, create table tab 1. Okay, and it has a column. Let's say name. I'm making it as varchar of 200. Great. Next I have the another column as age. I'm making it as int because it will store the integer value, and then I'm making the my column which I want to update or which I need to focus is a gender, and the data type for this I'm making it as a 10. So it would be a varchar 10 because I'm going to store the string value in the column. So this is my table called as a tab 1. In this one I have more lot of column like name, age, gender. Great. Let's run this query. The time I will execute this query, I will see a message which will say that commands completed successfully. So what does it mean? It means that this table has been created successfully. So let's select this query and let's run it. So now I'll see there are 3 columns which I just created for this column. Great. Now just load some data, insert into tab 1. Great. I add some data in it, right? Select name, I am giving as the emp1. Great. Then second column is age, which need to be integer, then I'm making it as 20. Then the gender, the previous value I'm saying it as m. So this is my first employee or the first row, you can term it as anything. So select, this is the first one. Name, next I am attaching to second row, I am attaching it as employee 2, which is basically the name for this emp2, or the name for this value for this column is emp2. Then age I'm making as 21, and the gender I'm changing m to f. Great. So these are the 2 value which I have for my employee. Let's insert this into the table. I just loaded into it, and again if I'm coming back and I'm selecting this query and running again, what will I see? I will see here there are 2 records, one is emp1, second is emp2. The value for the first column is m and f. Now my requirement is, which I started, my requirement is just to update the m to male or and f to female. So basically there are multiple way we can do it. The simplest thing and the simplest way we are doing it with the if statement. So how we do that? Just write update. You want to update the entire table, so take the table name here. Then which column you want to update? I want to update the gender column, so this is gender. Next, so the requirement is to update the m to a male or f to female. Great. So how do that? Basically you need to find out the way to determine the value for that column. So if we have multiple case statements, so out of that the first is if here we need to write the gender equal to m, then make it male. You can simply write it as else. In the else you can simply make it as female if you are pretty much sure that this column will always have the 2 value. Great. This is the first way we can update m to male and female. Great. Another way, if you are not that much confident that the second value would not be the females or f, then you can also write the first m. If it is m, then make it male. Then here again you need to go with the case statement. So just copy this entire block and come here and paste it here. So here you will check if gender is f, then make it female, else blank. Great. This is second way. Another way is a very simplest way, which we can say it's a case statement. So how you write that? So in a case you need to pass the conditional in a when. So when gender equal to m, then it would be m. Great. Then if next condition when gender equal to f, then make it as a female. Great. So you can see here, then your syntax need to be correct, right? Male, then close it here. If it is female, as end, or you can simply write it as end. So basically these are the 3 ways and 3 method or 3 style from which you can update to m to male and the f to female, right? So let's run this query. You can come back here and again copy this select statement here, come back here, run this query. Now it is m to male and F to female. Again, if you want to go back, then the simplest way is to how to do that. You will come here, you will simply copy this M male to M, then write like this, then M, then it should be male, it should be F, so it will be revert back query, we can say. So let's run it and let's come back and let's again run the select query. Now you'll see this is tab 1. So why I written this query, because I want to demonstrate the another way how we can do that. Now again you are seeing M and the F. Now I am running the second query and let's run it and see what happens. Again come back here and again run the select query. Now we'll see M2 male and F2 female. Great. Now again come back here and again update the query. Great. Now if we'll come back and if we'll run again this query, now we'll see the data has been reverted back because we reverted from male to M and female to F. The third and the last way is this one. Just come and run this query. Now again come and now let's run the query. Now we'll see the values are male and female. Initially when we started this script, the value was M and F, we loaded M and F. Now we can see the male and female. So the thing I want to tell you here, this the one thing you can write a multiple ways. So one developer write one query in a simple way, another developer can write the same query in a twisted or a complicated way. But don't bother about it. The thing is that the output should be the same. The way you write doesn't matter, but how you are giving the output in a fastest way, that is important. So this is the first and very simple question which you guys might face in your coming interviews, or the experienced one might have already faced this one. And this is the one good start for asking the good question for the fresher people also, if you are taking the interview, because I have also asked the same questions to few people and they were not able to answer this question, right? Because what I said, people are not confident sometime about it because they learn everything but they don't know how to apply it. And hope you guys understand and enjoyed our first part of our series and like our video. Please